So, the other day my friend texted me saying, "Bro, I have two pieces of bad news for you." I told him to combine them. He then said, "Your girlfriend is cheating on both of us." America's society has been infected by the bro movement, a movement that is based upon a man's masculinity and sexuality, which sticks with young men in particular. It has grown more and more popular due to the media that people are introduced to when they're young and easily influenced. My name is Loren Garduque, and today I will discuss the history of the bro movement, how it contradicts the Me Too myth and brings us further from gender equality, and how it harms men's self-image in the long term. Bro culture is something that has progressed over the years since the early 20th century. Bro was abbreviated from the word brother to refer to another person, such as guy or fellow. In the 1970s, it came to refer to specifically a male friend. Oxford Dictionary identified the use of the word bro as the defining feature of the changing cultural attributes of a young man. According to Wikipedia, bro culture is a subculture who spend time partying with others like them. There is no official definition for the bro movement, but the Urban Dictionary seems to have an idea. It is a movement based on the mutual respect of men and manhood, and the understanding that it is the responsibility of men to show women a good time and treat them like special guests. It then goes on to say that women who endorse the bro movement often understand their role as sexual creatures and take ownership of that status. The rest talks about a woman's role in a group of bros and how fraternities are often associated with the movement. The North American fraternity and sorority system began with students who met secretly to discuss topics schools found inappropriate. The first ever Greek fraternity was the Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded on December 5, 1775, at the College of William and Mary in Virginia. It consisted of students who met to debate and engage in oratory on topics not far from the school curriculum. As fraternities grew through the years, new issues arose over who should be members. Frat houses were able to help save colleges that had housing issues by providing it for more students. Modern frats are very different from past ones. While some have certain requirements, in bigger schools it isn't always scholar-based. For example, the University of Merced only requires students to be a junior and have a 2.5 GPA. Bro culture is derived from cliché fraternity behaviors that have influenced young men. Unfortunately, bro culture doesn't refer to just masculine behaviors, but to more toxic ones, such as alcoholism, sexism, rape culture, and other things associated with hypermasculinity. Hypermasculinity is a psychological term that means an exaggeration of male stereotypical behaviors, such as an emphasis on physical strength, aggression, and sexuality. Social expectations have made a line between what is deemed masculine and feminine. Men are pushed into a social construct which involves being self-sufficient, acting tough, looking physically attractive, sticking to gender roles, being heterosexual, having sexual prowess, and using violence to resolve conflicts. These gender roles can have negative effects on men and their mental well-being. If a man is unable to meet the harsh criteria, it often leads to feelings of insecurity, inferiority, and psychological distress. Many men are afraid to stray from the norm and end up having an underdeveloped personality. Self-imposed emotional monitoring has affected how men act towards women. They are unable to have more intimate relationships as men associate emotion with weakness. The president of Alpha Phi Alpha, David Bell, stated, "I used to think that I was an unemotional person, and it affected every relationship I was in. It took me 22 years to realize that it is okay to discuss my emotions and be sensitive. I was in a relationship and I was not even able to understand or acknowledge her feelings, and it made me feel like a psychopath." He then realized that things have to change and society has to teach young boys that it is okay for men to show their emotions. One group that has risen up following the ideology of the bro movement is the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys are a far-right, neo-fascist, and male-only organization that promotes and engages in political violence. The group claims it isn't sexist, However, they still connect to the bro culture with their violent ways of getting things done. The Proud Boys reinforce the idea of toxic masculinity as they physically harm themselves and others based on their political standings. However, thanks to the Bro Code, a list of rules that bros follow almost religiously, they don't hurt each other too bad. According to Bro Code rule number 16, even in a fight to the death, a bro never punches another bro in the groin, because that's what really matters. These rules are listed on brocode.org and there are over 100 of them. Some other rules include rule number 1, bros before hoes. Usually a hoe is a derogatory word that means whore or prostitute, but bros have redefined it to mean any woman that is not your wife or direct family. Rule number 8, bros do not share dessert. Rule number 17, a bro never cries. Rule number 55, a bro doesn't catch a cold. Instead, he is struck down with the man flu. And rule number 112, one of the most important rules. Bros don't giggle, because that's what girls do. In contrast, the Me Too movement is a social movement against sexual abuse and sexual harassment, where people publicize allegations of sex crimes committed by men. The movement has many accomplishments, such as the banning of non-disclosure agreements that cover sexual assault, more protection for independent contractors, and changing the perception of power that men have over women. The Me Too movement asks for consent and respect. The Bro movement contradicts this, as it is making women docile to men, which opens up room for sexual harassment. In the Bro movement, women are seen as sexual playthings, not equal partners. Women in today's society take stronger leadership roles and outperform men, which challenges their manliness. Many companies are known for being run by people who are a part of the bro culture. For example, Nike has collided with the Me Too movement in the past. In 2018, the brand released a new ad campaign stating that achieving equality is a victory, and we will fight for change until we all win. This brought controversy as women in the workplace felt this was hypocritical. Many of these women felt underappreciated and that they had less power than the men. Even former male employees stated that they lived for the brand and didn't realize how toxic it was until they left. In these growing companies where younger men are taking charge, the bro culture is creating a toxic work environment for everyone. Many bros are trying to break off all ties with the hypermasculinity that comes with the bro movement and are completely against any sexist or racist acts. By separating themselves from fraternities, they are able to change how they act. Some bros are now less toxic to each other and are able to be their own individual person and not a part of this fake, rude society of drunk college boys. Even though new bros are still being made every single day, the toxic masculinity is slowing down as men are realizing that it's okay to not be manly. Bros are still able to get something out of this relationship, and that is rule number 58. A bro always has his bros back because bros stick together. Today, I share with you the different effects that the bro movement has brought our society. This ranges from good to bad, however, it is constantly changing. Bro culture is something that will most likely stick with some people and influence their opinions. It can be harmful to men themselves and the progression that we have made with gender equality. Something that we can all take away from this is that the bro movement is a good opportunity for men to bond with each other and form these lasting relationships. However, there is also a general idea that bros have to change the toxic masculinity that comes with it. The main issues of hypermasculinity and sexism that they face can easily and slowly change by having an open mind. Even though this is not an immediate response, there are still actions being taken, one step at a time. Thank you.